This is John McQuay with 8541 Tactical, and we're here at the 2022 SHOT Show in the Aero Precision booth with Kirk. And Kirk's going to talk to us a little bit about their new bolt-action rifle. Kirk?
Yeah, so for 2022, we kind of have two debut products in the bolt-action space. We have our action here, the Aero Precision Short Action, and then the Aero Precision Short Action chassis. Those are kind of running names until we get them named proper. They'll be sold individually. Kind of keeping with the idea of like our AR-15s, if you're familiar with those, we're there for the builder, right? And this is in that, it's in the DNA of these products. The action, we'll start with that. It takes Remington 700 footprint chassis and stocks. Same thing for triggers, Remington 700 triggers on a hanger. And then for the barrels, they are Savage small shank. The reason we went that way is all of those things have a ton of aftermarket support already. And then the Savage small shank barrels are really easy for the user to install with minimal machining when they receive it. So kind of removing some of those barriers to entry, allowing people to get into the precision bolt gun space, build something they want, and not break the bank, with all those gunsmithing fees. So the action, it's 3-lug, 60-degree throw, interchangeable bolt heads, so you can do it for 6mm all the way up to short magnums. The top rail here is integral, super rugged lockup. You don't have to worry about it drifting like traditional scope bases. It has a 20 MOA cant to help extend that range in your optic, get more adjustments out of it. And then the chassis, kind of starting from the stock here, we'll kind of work our way forward. It has length of pull adjustments that are locked in with this cam lock here. So it's spring loaded. Same thing for the cheek riser. That helps when you're adjusting it on the gun, you're behind the gun, you're not having to fiddle with knobs, right? That's a huge deal. Just making that go as easy as possible when people get the gun built and they're ready to go. The connecting piece here is solid. When this comes to market, we're planning to have a folding adapter for the stock. So that's not here today, but that's kind of where the direction we're headed with that.
Okay.
And then the center section of the chassis here, it takes, again, Remington 700 footprint actions. It's V-bedded, so it takes a bunch of different actions within that pattern and still gives you a good consistent lockup between the action and the chassis itself. And then it takes AICS pattern magazines. So, pretty common on the market. The magazine release here is adjustable. Those magazines don't always have the same cuts.
Right.
So you can tune it to fit your specific magazines for the AICS and AIW mags.
Cool.
The forend here, we've got the QD slots, kind of like you see in the stock. M-lock on all three sides, and then an Arca Swiss rail on the bottom here. So that allows you to attach to tripods like you see here. Going to the front of it, we have a couple optional accessories. One of them is this spigot here. That allows for a bipod mount super far forward where you want it to be. And it also keeps you from using up any of the real estate here when you're using an Arca Swiss rail attachment.
Very nice.
And then lastly, don't have one on here, but we have night vision bridges that will also be available for these for clip-on night vision devices.
Okay. Overall, looks like you've got a really good package. Seems to hit all the bases for what the guys either in the tactical arena or in the PRS area are really looking for.
Yeah.
So when will the receiver and the chassis be available?
We don't have hard launch dates yet. It's going to be within 2022 for sure. We're just kind of approaching that finish line, kind of gauging that, and then when we're confident in a launch date, we'll go ahead and announce that.
Okay, and do we have a price point yet for the action?
Yeah, so the action and the chassis both will be sub $1,000. So each of those components will be sub $1,000.
Okay, very nice. And the removable bolt heads, what bolt heads will be available at launch?
At launch, it's looking like we'll have the ones for like your 6.5 Creedmoor 308, and then later we'll get into those Magnum bolt faces for like your 300W SSM. And all those other short mags. So.
Okay, any possibility for a 223 bolt face at any point? Or?
Potentially in the future, for sure. We're just trying to hit those kind of really common cartridges at first, because that's what most people are going to build in.
Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be a guy out there that wants to do the 223 Ackley or a 300 Blackout or something crazy
yeah, for
like
sure.
that.
And we fully support that. It's just a matter of time getting that stuff out. So.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much, Kirk, for taking us through the new bolt gun. It looks great. Looking forward to getting one out in the range and shooting it.
Yeah, no problem.